What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know that it has been a minute, especially since you guys have seen the rx7, but today I've got some pretty, I don't want to say exciting news, but I've got some big news for you. The last time you guys seen this car in a video, I was finishing it up. I got it started for the first time, and I was running through all the systems to make sure that this thing was going to function properly. That's been like, oh my God, 6 months now. So after that video, I was checking through all the systems and everything. And long story short, I'll get into it in another video, but long story short, this thing is blown up yet again. I lost compression in the front rotor. Short version of it is due to timing change. Not really sure what exactly happened. All I know is this thing no longer has compression in the front rotor. This thing was just built, maybe driven like 10-15 miles, just checking all the cooling system, oil pressure, things like that. Never got on the car hard, anything. It was just in my neighborhood, my community. But yeah, so the car is essentially at this point blown up because I don't know what exactly is wrong with it. I just know that it has no compression on at least one face in the front rotor. So that being said, this thing has to come out yet again. So you guys know the process. It's not the easiest or most simple thing to do, but it's also not the hardest. So I'm going to be trying to do this today and get it out of the car today by myself. It's a beautiful day here in Phoenix. It's about 104 degrees outside. It's blistering hot, but luckily the garage is a little cooler, not much, but a little bit. So I'm gonna get this thing set up and ready to go, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. So thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to tell you guys it means a lot to me. I know I haven't uploaded consistently, but that should all change very soon. There's been some big changes in my life, in my personal life, that will allow me to give you guys more attention and more content. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump into this because I got a long day ahead of me. So I'm gonna set you guys on the tripod and do a time lapse. All right, so I'm gonna start off taking the intercooler out. I'm gonna take the intake manifold off, get the wiring harness out of the way, and then I'll work my way to the radiator and underneath the car to take the bell housing bolts off, the downpipe, and get everything out of the way so this thing can come out. And I'm leaving the transmission in this time, fingers crossed. So here we go. So this is kind of what it looks like now. Got the fuel injectors, bunch of sensors for the intake manifold, got the throttle body position sensor. I've got to get the ground for the coil harness, the crankshaft position sensors down there, and just everything, get that pulled back out of the way. and then we'll put the intake manifold back on so we can use it. It's got one of the lifting points to pull it out. The other one is right here by the alternator bracket. Sorry, excuse me, corona cough. But yeah, so we're making progress slowly. It's already been about 40 minutes or so. But once I get everything ready on the top side, then I'll jack the car up, drain the radiator, and get ready to go from there. So here we go. All right, guys, we're back again. So I've pretty much got everything done up top. Okay, I got the power steering line taken loose here, out of the back of the reservoir. I pretty much think I've got everything. I even took out the 2 top bolts on the bell housing. There's one there, and there's one right down there. Just so that way, when I put the upper intake manifold back on, I don't have to try to fight with that. So I've got the downpipe V-band loose. Now what I'm about to do is jack the car up. I'm gonna take the 2 oil cooler lines loose, take the radiator hoses off, but I want to be able to catch all the antifreeze. I don't want it to go everywhere, so I got to get the car up a little bit, get underneath there, take the bolts out of the bell housing on the bottom, or at least get them loose. I'm gonna disengage the clutch, that way when I do pull it, it'll just slide out. I'll take the motor mount bolts loose, and then I'll bring the car back down so I can get the engine hoist in here, get it in, and get the engine out. So we're getting very close, just about there. Been working on the car for about an hour and a half now, so it's going fairly quick. I just wish I could film more. I'm gonna try to film a little bit of this portion. We'll see how it turns out. All right, here we go. And no, guys, I don't use Harbor Freight jack stands. They're 6-ton jack stands. They're a little bit overkill for the car, but better safe than sorry. We're good. So the car is securely up on stands. Should be plenty high enough for me to get the radiator, the fans, the oil lines, and everything like that off, so we can get this car back on the ground and pull the engine out and see what is wrong with this thing. Super disappointed that the car's in this shape right now, but hey, more experience, car will be even better when I get it put back together. So give me a few minutes, I'm gonna get this stuff out and I'll give you guys an update here in just a few. All right, guys, it has been about another 20 minutes or so. I got another just quick update for you. Got the radiator, fans, all that out. Got the oil cooler lines disconnected, and I moved my jack stands out of the way so I can get under there and take the downpipe off and the motor mount bolts, and start taking the bolts out of the bell housing. Once that's done, I'll lower the car back down on the ground, put the intake manifold, oh sorry, you guys are super close. Put the intake manifold back on top, excuse me, and then pull it out. So this thing is coming right along. It's going really fast. So hang in there, a few more minutes, well, more time for me, and it'll be a split second for you. So be right back. It might look like we're going backwards, but we're not. Put the intake manifold back on. The car is off of the jack stands, sitting back down on the ground, and we are just about ready to hook this thing up to the engine hoist and pull it out. I've disengaged the clutch, pulled the downpipe, got all the bolts out of the bell housing, pulled the motor mount bolts. I think I've got everything. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. There's always something that you forget. I've gone over it a couple times now, just kind of making a checklist in my head to see what I forgot, because I know as soon as I try to pull this thing out, there's going to be something that I forgot to disconnect, undo, something. It's just how it goes. It always happens. It's not a big deal. It's just seeing it before you break it. So I know that's going to happen, but I am going to get the hoist ready, and I'm going to hook up to this thing and try to yank it out. So give me just 1 minute. I'll get the hoist set up and we'll pull this thing out together. All right. So don't judge me too much. I don't have a chain to go from one lifting point to another. The one I used before was borrowed. So yeah, I've got two. This is a 1,000-pound ratchet strap, and this is a 500-pound ratchet strap. Pretty confident that it'll hold. I don't think that the 13B weighs over 500 pounds. It might be close, but I think it'll hold. So I'm going to get you guys set up, try to find the best angle, and try to pull this thing out. We'll see if I got everything disconnected and if it comes out in one shot. All right, here we go. It is so hot. It's like 1,000,000 degrees. Forget what I said earlier about it being a nice day, because it's freaking hot. But yeah, so check it out. I got it separated. There's the pressure plate for the clutch. Right now the car is jacked up. I'm about to lower it down, and hopefully the engine will stay and come out, and the body will go down. So and bam, just like that, everybody, it is out of the car yet again, entirely too soon from just having rebuilt it. But I will say that there are signs of things not being so great. That is super dirty. So we will see. Next step is get it on the ground and start tearing into it. Put it on the stand. I'm gonna take all the accessories off of it, and we'll go from there.